It's been a dominant season for the top two drivers in points, Sebastian Kukulon and Laura Chung here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, but tonight the coin might flip and we may see a different driver in victory lane. We are here in America's heartland at the Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa for the Casey's General Store 200 in Season 8 of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here and welcome to the Iowa Speedway. We are here for the 12th race of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series season number 8. After tonight, we will be 2/3 of the way through the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Only 6 races remain after this one. We have Gateway, Chicagoland coming up as well, Martinsville, Las Vegas, Talladega, and the finale at Homestead. Not in that order because I can't remember my schedule, but those are the 6 races after tonight. So a lot of intermediate tracks coming up. We do have a super speedway and a short track coming up, but these intermediate tracks have been dominated by Laura Chung and Sebastian Kukulon so far this season. But an opportunity for these guys to maybe turn that around a little bit here tonight on the short track. The last short track we had a week and a half ago at IRP, Nathan Stapleton dominated that race and then blew an engine 5 laps ago, giving the win over to Laura Chung. He starts in the 2nd position, but the other driver to win a short track this season, Thomas Troxel, starts on the pole position. We'll have to see what he can do there from that first starting position. But we mentioned Sebastian Kukulon and Laura Chung. They've been the dominant guys of the season. And Kukulon, 356 points on the season so far, a 29-point lead on Laura Chung. The battle for the championship could easily be between those two drivers. Ryan Kingart, if things turn around just a little bit in these last 7 races, he could have a shot. But he's only got the one win that he got at Darlington at the beginning of the season. He's 60 points behind, and then you go down 89 points behind to Brad Stover, 98 points behind for Eric Drew, and 100 points behind for Ethan Lewis behind those guys. It's looking like it's between Kukulon and Chung and maybe Ryan Kingart for this championship. But still 7 races remaining, and we'll have to see how it all goes down in these final 7 races here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Like I mentioned, it's Thomas Troxel starting on the pole position here tonight. Alongside him, Nathan Stapleton looking to get his first win of the season. Came oh so close at IRP. A great opportunity for him here tonight. Roberto Crown Jr., another great starting position for them. They're to the inside of Laura Chung, who has won 4 races already on the season, looking for her 5th win here tonight. Eric Drew has not gone the victory lane yet this season. He was actually the points leader a bit earlier on in the season. He's starting alongside Noah Clifton. And then you got Eric Monaco's dead last in points, starting in the 7th position alongside Josh Williamson. Brad Stover rounds out the top 10 with Memphis Fisher to his outside. Right behind those guys, Ethan Lewis starts alongside Brian Webb. There's Kukulon, our points leader, to the inside of Ryan Kingart there in row number 8. Let's see what those guys can do. When we were at IRP, Ryan Kingart started dead last and ended up finishing in the 6th position. He made up 30 positions on that very short track in only 50 laps. We got 50 laps here tonight, about a 30 to 34 lap fuel run, and that is actually how it is tonight. Trust me, I know the last couple of times I've been a little bit inaccurate on that fuel mileage run, but that is how it is here at Iowa. And hopefully we don't have too many issues on the pit lane, but the merge area is a bit shaky for these guys on this racetrack, so we'll have to see if we end up with a caution during the cycle of pit stops like we did at Bristol. Thomas Troxel would love for that to happen as he leads the field of the green flag, and we're underway on the Casey's General Store 200. It's a lap led and a bonus point towards the championship for Thomas Troxel, although he is a bit ways behind in the championship fight. Roberto Crown Jr. putting up a fight with Nathan Stapleton for the 2nd position, and Eric Drew trying to get around Laura Chung. Chung unable to get to that inside lane as of right now, and we'll have to see what Eric Monaco can do, but the 52 has been a little bit off pace this season, and in the outside wall, Noah Clifton, and that is something that we will see here tonight. This guy's kind of overshooting that corner, especially turn number 4, and hitting that outside wall down the front stretch. Noah Clifton's going to get put 3 wide right here as Owen Miles and Memphis Fisher move to the inside of him. Ryan Kingart did not make any movement there at the start, but Sebastian Kukulon already just outside the top 10 in the 11th position right now. But Thomas Troxel looking to clear this field here and have an opportunity to have the race victory. Eric Drew here, looking on Nathan Stapleton for the 3rd position. Monaco's gotten around Laura Chung, and Brad Stover also with some momentum around the 61 machine. And here's Sebastian Kukulon. Now here's the interesting thing with the championship, because Kukulon's 29 points ahead. Laura Chung wants to gain on that 75, but obviously if Kukulon finishes ahead of Laura Chung, only unless Laura Chung happens to lead the most laps in the race, Kukulon's going to get more points, and that gap is going to grow even more with fewer races left in the season. So Sebastian Kukulon with a great opportunity here at putting Laura Chung a little bit further behind in this championship here tonight. Ryan Durrani doing an excellent job there. He's now up to the 9th position in the number 10 machine. Great run for him. Haven't seen too much of Ryan Durrani. And same with Eric Monaco running inside this top 10. As a matter of fact, Monaco is 5th right now here at the Iowa Speedway. But Thomas Troxel's out of here. Got the win at Bristol earlier this season and had a lot of success in that race. Pretty much because of the pit road issues that everyone else had. But he may not have to have a pit road snafu to get the race victory here tonight, because he's almost a second clear of the field in just 7 laps. Roberto Crown Jr., they're second. They had a great opportunity at Watkins Glen, and they missed the pit lane. They didn't get the race victory there. That one went to Laura Chung as well. Battle right here, Brad Stover on Eric Monaco. That will be for the 5th position, and that's going to put Monaco on that outside lane. Laura Chung and Sebastian Kukulon both going to get to the inside of him, and that's 3 positions lost in 1 lap for Eric Monaco. Kukulon right there on the back bumper of Laura Chung for the 7th position. Stapleton looking to the inside of Eric Drew for 3rd. Stapleton, I think, could have a good shot at winning this race here tonight. If he has a good pit stop during the cycle, he could find his way up front in this one. Roberto Crown Jr. would like to get some redemption from what happened to them at the Watkins Glen International. But Stapleton is definitely looking pretty sporty right now here later on in this run on lap 9. And he's going to take the 2nd position easily away from the 66 machine. He wants to pull away because I think these 3 guys, and particularly Laura Chung and Sebastian Kukulon, are fighting some speed later on in the tire run right here. Owen Miles currently runs 8th, and it's Ethan Lewis and Ryan Durrani will get around Eric Monaco for the 10th position. Meanwhile, Ryan Kingart not moving through the field like he did at IRP. He's down in 18th, battling with his teammate, his theoretical teammate, Zach Winkle, for 17th, and he's not been able to really make any moves through the field right here, so Ryan Kingart going to lose some more touch in this championship if things stay the way they currently are. Meanwhile, Eric Drew and Brad Stover both getting around Roberto Crown Jr. and Sebastian Kukulon looking to get around Laura Chung, and he's going to take that away easily on the 61 machine. And Kukulon's won 3 times, won the last race that we had at Pocono, led every single lap at Pocono, extended his points lead after that race victory. But didn't really have the best starting position here for this race, a lot like IRP, but at IRP he still moved his way through the field. And now he's up to the 5th position, looking for 4th right there on Brad Stover. Laura Chung going to get the advantage on the 66, and you definitely see some trucks that are coming and some trucks that are going right here, and the 66 is one of those trucks that's going. Eric Monaco, another one. He's fallen off quite a bit there since the start of the race, but tire wear definitely a big factor here, especially considering how little grip there is on this racetrack here at Iowa. See those guys sliding around the way they do, and we saw Noah Clifton tap that outside wall earlier, which, speaking of which, he fell back quite a bit because of that incident right there. He's way behind. I don't think he came down the pit lane either. He's all the way down to 31st after that, so definitely don't want to make that mistake on this racetrack. The good thing for Thomas Troxel, he's had to deal with absolutely nothing, because he's basically just making qualifying laps, running by himself, nobody battling with him. However, Nathan Stapleton is starting to close in a little bit right here. He just took another 10th off the 17's lead on lap 15 of 50, about halfway through this fuel run right here. And of course, tires will also come into effect for these guys as well, and it'll be a 4-tire stop for a majority of the field. And you got Eric Drew, Brad Stover, Sebastian Kukulon, and Laura Chung. Top 6, Ethan Lewis, Owen Miles, Ryan Durrani, and Nicholas Samadillo inside the top 10. Great run for Samadillo here tonight. He just got around Roberto Crown Jr. Memphis Fisher there in 12th, Monaco 13th, Williamson Kingart up to 15th. He's trying to make some moves through the field right here. Reggie Fogelman, Zach Winkle, Brian Webb, and Will Parrish, who had a great run at Bristol. He's now in the 19th position with Chris Tejada rounding out the top 20. Back to the lead, and Stapleton is getting ever so closer to that 17 machine for this race lead. We'll have to see if he can close in and have a shot at it here before the cycle of pit stops begin. And number 40 looking very fast to see how the fastest laps are going in this race. Kukulon has the fastest lap, but Nathan Stapleton right there behind him in second. So that 40 machine, I think he's slowly chipping away at this race lead. Kukulon might actually have a good shot at this race victory as well, though, because that 75 has moved up. Started 15th for this race. He was on the inside lane, I know that much. I think he started 15th for this race. Yeah, he started 15th. He's moved up 10 positions in 19 laps. Not too bad for a track like this, and he's still right there behind Brad Stover for the 4th position. Downside for him, he's 2.5 seconds behind, but that could easily be made up on a cycle of pit stops, especially if you play the strategy right. This may be one of those tracks, however, where coming in later may be the advantage compared to coming down earlier. So we'll just have to see who ends up playing it right, but they will have to come down for a cycle here. Memphis Fisher making a move there on Roberto Crown Jr. That is for 11th. These guys have spread out quite a bit. Ryan Kingart finding some speed now. Now up to the 13th position as he gets around Eric Monaco. But definitely a very spread out field right now here at the Iowa Speedway. We got a lot of guys kind of bunched up in the back right there. But I don't think we're coming close to running in the lap traffic, at least for Thomas Troxell's case. They're about half a racetrack ahead of him. And this is the closest Stapleton has been all race long to finding the back bumper of Thomas Troxell for the race lead. But Troxell's been able to keep a general same distance this entire run. But the cycle of pit stops could easily determine who gets the race victory. If Stapleton is close enough, he could really gain an advantage on the 17 on the pit lane and steal this win away. And I know he would love to get that race victory, especially after what happened to him last week at IRP. That was he had that one in the bag. I think he could have easily still won that race, even though Laura Chung was coming. I think the 40 machine could have still won that thing in IRP had he not blown up. Hopefully that doesn't happen to him here tonight, and you got to be careful. I mean, you didn't expect it to happen on a short track, but it happened, and Nathan Stapleton finished dead last in that race, and that set him back in the title race as well. He'd be under 100 points in this championship fight if that did not happen, but he sits 118 behind. He's closing in quite a bit right here on the 17 of Thomas Troxell. He's under half a second now behind the number 17. The downside for those guys is I think these three guys are also closing in as well. Kukulon now just 2 seconds behind. It was 2.5 seconds not too long ago. And they may all have an opportunity once this cycle goes through. Laura Chung is there in 6th, and she's generally kept the same distance behind these guys ahead of her. Ethan Lewis is there. He's only 3.5 seconds behind. The same with Owen Miles. And a great run for Ryan Durrani, currently running in the top 10. It's not been a good season for Durrani. Only one top 10 on the season for Durrani. But he could get his second one here tonight at the Iowa Speedway. And then Nicholas Samadillo there. He's got 4 top 10s on the season, but he's all the way down 28th in points. He's not had a good season driving that number 88 machine, and we'll have to see what he can do in this one as things move along. Stapleton is coming ever so closer to this 17, now down to 0.3 of a second on Thomas Troxell. Stapleton's going to try to get around the 17 machine before the cycle begins, but we're within about 3 laps when that cycle will begin. We'll have to see if Stapleton actually makes the move, because he really closed in a lot that lap. Or at least it looked like it did. Oh yeah, he did. And he's right there on the back bumper of Thomas Troxell. Now Troxell will get that extra bonus point for leading the most laps, as he's led every lap so far, and we're past halfway in this race. But Nathan Stapleton He's going to try to make this move before this cycle begins, and he could easily pull it off. But the thing is, it's one thing to catch a guy, another thing to pass him, and I think we're going to see that come into effect right here. You know, Stapleton's right there on the back bumper of Thomas Troxel. Troxel's going to be doing all he can to block that 40. And I think Troxel would want to come down the pit lane before Stapleton passes him. Not going to come down quite yet. The entry to the pit lane is right there on the backstretch, and that's why we tend to have some issues down that back straightaway with these guys coming down the pit lane and coming off the pit lane. If you got guys doing both at the same time, then that's when we tend to see some wrecks. Hopefully we have a clean cycle here, and this thing can go green the whole way through and have ourselves an outright race for the race win. And it could easily be between these two guys right here, Stapleton and Troxel. Neither of them coming down the pit lane quite yet. I think we'll see some guys start to come down next time by. Everyone's still staying out right here. But Troxel doing all he can to keep Stapleton behind him, and he's doing a decent job right now, and he may trying to wear that 40 out a little bit. The thing is, we're at the end of a run right here, so we'll have to see. And Stapleton going to be the first to move. No one else really coming with him, at least in terms of the top 10. So very interesting move there out of Stapleton. We'll have to see if he gains any sort of an advantage with that. Williamson comes down a little bit further behind, and then you have the 20 machine of Allison Rain. I haven't seen much of her in this race. Definitely one of the drivers who's had decent season. She also only has 4 top 10s, but did get that race victory at Texas, so have to see if she can move up through the field coming in a lap early. Troxel's now down, and here's Kukulon looking to gain a bonus point for leading a lap. Looks like he actually tapped the outside wall at one point. He's got some damage to his race car. A lot of these guys coming down the pit lane here now. Majority of the field coming down right here. And there's Stapleton finally coming off the pit lane. He's got to be careful of Brian Webb and Reggie Fogelman, but they will be far enough ahead that they won't be an issue. And I think the rest of the field going to come down right here. So we'll follow here with Stapleton as he comes back around. Troxel was the guy who was right behind him, and actually right ahead of him, I should say. And he came in a lap later, and he's coming off the pit lane right here. But here comes Stapleton with a full head of steam. And this is going to be close. They're going to be side by side for what will provisionally be the race lead once it's all said and done. Stapleton's got to be careful, though, not to overshoot the corner, but he's going to get that pass done on the outside lane. Now, Kukulon is still out there. We'll have to see if he gets a jump on these guys, and where did he go? Oh, he's still on the pit lane. There's an issue on the 75. Either that or he just came down. He's still listed the race leader. But there's no movement on that pistol, and same goes for Ryan Kinghart in the 98. I'm wondering if they had to repair the damage on that 75, but that's a huge moment for the championship, because now Laura Chung is third, and Sebastian Kukulon is going to end up going a lap down once all this is said and done, at the very least. But the race leader is Nathan Stapleton, looking to get his first win of the season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. 15 laps to go in the Casey's General Store 200. Now, what these two guys do not want is a caution, because that will open the door for Laura Chung to be right there to take the win away. This is huge for Laura Chung. I think Brad Stover might be a lap down in the 45. He is. You know what's going to happen. If it stays the way it does right now, I do believe Laura Chung will be the new points leader just by a couple points. Actually, they might be tied. They might be tied because Kukulon's in the position to get 2 points. And, well, he's going to have 3 because he led a lap. 61 of Laura Chung, that is 34 points. 34 to 32, 31. It's going to be a 2-point lead for Laura Chung the way they currently run heading in the Gateway next weekend. And just like that, it completely turns around. We'll see if something happened between those guys, but in the meantime, we're going to focus on this battle for the win. Nathan Stapleton and Thomas Troxel are going to duke it out here for this race victory at Iowa. And they're going to both go at it hard. But they got lap traffic in their way. Juan Rodriguez in the middle of all this. Noah Clifton as well. He's had his fair share of issues here tonight. Rodriguez actually trying to go to the inside of Troxel there. I'm not sure the 17 is going to be too happy about that. Nicholas Samadillo is 4th. Memphis Fisher, Eric Drew, Owen Miles, Chris Tejada, Allison Rain. Like I said, I thought Allison Rain was going to get something to go her way there with all that, and she moved up to 9th. with all that happen right there. And then the 51 machine Nathan Ormond rounds out the top 10. Ormond going for his first top 10 of the season here tonight. The Iowa Speedway. He may be able to pull it off. Nathan Stapleton, though, trying to pull off his first win. It could be his second win. We all know what happened at IRP. I think he's got a slight bit of an advantage, and not to knock Thomas Troxel, but Laura Chung might be a little bit of a fiercer competitor overall than Troxel is. And Laura Chung was definitely closing in at IRP regardless. I think Stapleton might have a better opportunity at holding off Troxel than, say, if that was Laura Chung behind him or Sebastian Kukulon. So, speaking of Kukulon, he's coming off the pit lane finally, but he's going to be multiple laps down. And he's right now in the last position. He will get around Ryan Kingart, though. And here we go. Juan Rodriguez moved to the inside of Stapleton, and Troxel's going to take advantage of it and go for the race lead. But Stapleton on the outside lane trying to get it to stick. It's not going to work for him. And Troxel goes back to the top here at Iowa. Stapleton's not done yet. And remember, before the cycle of pit stops, that 40 machine was closing in on Troxel. The thing is, Troxel did come down a lap later, so he's got slightly fresher tires, and that one lap will make a difference. Now, Stapleton just lost his momentum because Juan Rodriguez got around both of those guys to get his lap back. So he's back on the lead lap. If we were to get a caution, he'd be back on the lead lap at least. I think Ryan Kingart also got back out there, and that would mean that Kukulon would finish in last place. And Kingart is back out there. That's a tough break for Kukulon. Laura Chung comfortably in third. Kukulon behind her, but Kukulon multiple laps down, so it's not her position. Troxel trying to hold off Stapleton, but Stapleton looking to come back at him. And he might... Oh, Stapleton had to check up there off the exit. He had an opportunity at getting to the inside for the race lead, and it did not happen. 6 laps to go for Thomas Troxel. Here in the Casey's General Store 200 Iowa, Troxel going for his second win of the season. Stapleton going for his first. Troxel's got these two guys ahead of him as well. That's going to slow him up. But Stapleton, he's really going for it right there into the corner. He's actually got some momentum right here. He might be able to carry that into turn 1. It'll be a great battle here for this race win, and I don't think Stapleton's done yet. But it's going to be harder for him to surpass that 17 with the lap cars ahead of them now and not racing with them, passing them. That's how Troxel got the race lead on Stapleton when Juan Rodriguez made the move to get his lap back, and he had every right to do that as well. I mean, if you get a caution, gets that lap back, and he's right back on the lead lap. Troxel, though, he's getting slowed up a little bit by these guys, mainly Clifton. I think Clifton's the one that's a bit off the pace, but this is, once you get later on in a run, it's a tougher place to make a pass, and I think that's what we're kind of seeing right now. Rodriguez unable to make that move. Troxel had to go a little high to avoid the 44, and Stapleton might have a shot of getting inside. 3 to go here at Iowa for Thomas Troxel. Stapleton right there on his back bumper for the race win. Oh, and Troxel with an issue! Troxel has a problem now. I'm wondering if he blew a tire. It's a tire issue on the 17. Stapleton takes the lead back away from the 17 of Thomas Troxel. Just like IRP, but this time it was Thomas Troxel and Nathan Stapleton is the beneficiary. Now he has 2 laps to go to get the race victory here at Iowa. What a shame there for Troxel. And I saw that little jump there off the exit of turn 4, and I'm wondering if something happens to the truck right there, blew the tire, and once he got in the corner, he realized that thing was done. Nathan Stapleton, white flag in the air here at Iowa. For the Indiana native, looking to get his first win of the season. And I think he's gonna do it, but we saw what happened to Troxel. Anything can happen in this last half lap, and Laura Chung's right there in second, looking to strike. But Stapleton, he's got some comfort right there from him and the guys ahead of him. So if they have an issue, I don't think he'll get caught up at this point. Nathan Stapleton will win the Casey's General Store 200 here at Iowa, his first win of the season. And Laura Chung, she is going to take the points lead here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series with 6 races left to go. Nicholas Samadia with a podium. He finishes 3rd. Eric Drew, Memphis Fisher, the top 5. Owen Miles, Chris Tejada, Ryan Durrani, Ethan Lewis, and Allison Rain, the top 10. But Nathan Stapleton He blew an engine, an IRP, lost the race because of that. He was battling, trying to chase down Thomas Troxel for the win here, and Troxel blows a tire, and he gets the race victory. So good karma and a little bit of redemption there for Nathan Stapleton as he gets it done here at the Iowa Speedway. That was a good race. Nathan Stapleton gets it done. The Laura Chung's going to be your new points leader heading into Gateway. Gateway, I should mention, is also another short track legally. Chassis type is short track there at Gateway, so these guys might have a similar outcome once they head to that racetrack next week for the Worldwide Technology 200. Take a look at the rest of the results right there, and Kukulon finishing dead last because of his issue, and Ryan Kinghart right there as well. Laura Chung, she got one handed to her right here, here at the Iowa Speedway. She was really the only one, other than Stapleton, who was up front kind of dominating the race, who didn't have an issue. Troxel, by the way, who was dominating that race, finished 32nd. Just never know what's going to happen, and the tire going down on Troxel caused him to go a lap down and finish deep in the field here, the Iowa Speedway. It's a caution-free race, but it was a good one, and Nathan Stapleton gets it done here in the 12th race of the season. The next race we got is Gateway, like I mentioned, and then after that, I think it's Chicagoland. Let me get this up. I think Chicagoland would be the 14th race of the season. The 15th race of the season, I believe, is Martinsville. Then it's Talladega, Las Vegas, Homestead to close out the season. So you have two legal short tracks, a super speedway. Actually, sorry. It goes Gateway, Chicagoland, Martinsville, Las Vegas, Talladega, Homestead. Talladega is the penultimate race of the season. And that will be interesting because that could really change things up heading into the finale at Homestead, which will be Christmas Day, 5 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the channel. But Chicagoland's going to be a bit of a wild one. That's a bit of a wild card mile-and-a-half race that we have. Martinsville being a short track. The only track that's left on the schedule that's kind of just a standard track is Las Vegas. But even then, things get a little interesting. And Homestead could go anyway. It's going to be interesting these last 6 races to see who gets it done. That's all I got to say. But Nathan Stapleton gets it done here at Iowa. He's the race winner, and we got a championship battle between Laura Chung and Sebastian Kukulon here in these final 6 races to see who gets it done in the Turkey Hill Truck Series season number 8. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next weekend. See you guys in the AG Discord for Thanksgiving 500 signups. I'll post a video as well linking the Discord. That's where the Google form will be. And like I mentioned, all signups going forward are going to be in the Discord. And that is mainly because the Wawa Cup Series is going to be a very dynamic series with the ratings, and every week ratings points being awarded to everybody, but you guys get to choose where it all goes. And it's a lot easier for me to just post a form in there. But I also want to make sure everyone who does sign up is in the Discord so they can change their ratings. So that's kind of the reason why we're moving in that direction. But yeah, either way, hope to see you guys there to sign up for the Thanksgiving 500, and then also fill up the owner slots for the Wawa Cup Series later tonight. Should be a good night over on the AG Discord. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Nathan Stapleton for getting the race victory here at Iowa, and we will see you guys next week from Gateway here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. I will see you guys later.